Yo,
What's poppin'?
How you doing? Salutations.
So what's up, yeah. So what's up?
man, all right. This is, I don't got to say anymore, bro.
Hey, yo, I got a big question for y'all.
Go ahead.
Oh, man, how you doing? Scale from 1 to 10.
We gonna start with you. We go down that line.
Yeah, definitely an uptick, man. I would say a 7. Last week it was
Like a
4 or
5.
5.
Yeah,
4 or 5.
yeah, something bad.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say a 7. You know, getting back to school. For me, school's tomorrow. For me, you know what I'm
Hey,
saying.
that way back to the grind.
That entry.
So getting back to that, but you know, my piece is there though. My piece is there.
Oh, you got your piece back?
Oh, the piece is back, bro.
Praise God.
Now the peace of God at that, you know what I'm saying?
I'm curious now.
Yeah,
We'll get
yeah,
to that later on.
But yeah, so I say a 7, but it's kind of bittersweet going back to school. I get to see my teammates, my friends, but you know, classes start. So
Ain't no sweetness in
Summer's
that.
over for me, man. So
Hey, another year. Got the backbone.
hey,
That's crazy.
it's gonna be
I like
big,
that.
it's gonna be a big year in Jesus' name.
Hey,
In all areas.
yeah, balling. All right, let's see. For me, you know, I keep it raw and cut, bro.
Got to.
I'm like a 4.5, bro.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know, that's below this here, bro.
You doing this?
Man, bro, dude, it's just been. I'm just been anxious, bro. Anxious, feeling like I ain't trying to go back to school. Just not like mentally there yet. I feel like I'm on that slope, coming down from that mountaintop, and I'm like, when you just start to hike, bro, that's where bro, I'm right about to hit that valley, bro.
Yeah, facts.
So it's just tough because like past couple of days I just been dealing with, you know, stress or anxiety or uncertainty. I'm like, do I even want to do the things that I want to do this year, or like the things that I feel like I want to do? Is like doubts and like uncertainties and just like fears and stuff. And that's just been like crippling my mind. And also, like, it doesn't help. Like we talked about in Diligence last episode, I ain't been prioritizing the word. I just been skating by, doing my own thing. And that's probably the reason why I'm feeling down in the dumps. But, you know, I mean, encouraging word today, but it's still like,
Yeah.
it's only so much I can do. If I'm not spending that time,
For sure.
Yeah.
I ain't getting, you know, that daily source.
Yeah, you already know.
I'm gonna feel that 4.5. So that's where I'm at, bro.
Appreciate you being
Yeah, for
honest.
sure.
Appreciate that.
That's vulnerability.
Just know, man. Hey, instead of worrying about everything, pray about everything.
That's a bar.
Reverend Joshua.
Nah, facts, bro.
Appreciate it, bro.
You already know.
Man, I mean, I'm doing good, man. I'd probably say 9 out of 10. I think what holds me back, and I'm gonna probably say it every time, because the root of my problems is really just the self-control I may lack in certain areas. You know what I'm saying? But just doing fantastic. My peace is for sure there. Good days. It's a positive week, man. I really have bad days. I have like under 10 bad days all year, and I've already had like 4. So you know what I'm saying?
That's a blessing from God.
Hey, so I think also part of it is
He already had 40% of the bad days.
it'll be 80% of the year. 60. But I think a part of it for me is a perspective. So you know what I'm saying? So bad things happen to me, but I don't have bad days. Because for me, the cup's always half full. You know what I'm saying? People always assume bad things don't happen to me. Bad things happen to me, bro. Trust me, I can get a book out. But how do you see them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
And that's something that I'm gonna actually speak about soon. You know what I'm saying, on how do you see certain things. But no, 9 out of 10, bro. And once I master this self-control, hey, forget a 10 out of 10. I'm at 11, 12, bro.
Wait on cloud
I'm on cloud 11.
Praise God.
that God.
Nah.
Yes.
Go a couple episodes back on that. Go a couple episodes back on that.
Man, bro. Hey, that's what's up, bro. I'm glad you're at a 9, bro.
Hey,
Got
but hey.
perspective, yo.
Yeah, that's huge.
But I can't wait until we're all at 10. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Who you hanging with?
Who you hang with, bro? Hey, I'm encouraged. I might be at a 5.5 now, hearing y'all stuff, bro.
Oh,
Appreciate y'all, boy.
Man, by the end of this episode, hopefully he's at 9.
Oh, for sure.
Well, you ain't gonna get that far. Hold your horse.
You never know. Yeah, that's-
But man, so I'm excited, man. We got a great topic for you guys today. It's something that I feel like society today it's like prevalent. Like, we all deal with this in some way or shape or form. And this is the idea of like filling voids. And so I think like the name of it should be like avoiding the voids, because we don't want to go and chase different areas in our lives where we're trying to fill these voids of whatever. Maybe it's anxiousness, maybe depression, and we're looking towards, you know, drugs, alcohol, maybe pleasure,
Good word for
maybe finances, all these different ways to try and fill voids in our lives where we feel empty in our hearts. So I'm gonna start with you. When you think about like filling voids, what has your experience been in your life with that?
Man, I think it's huge, bro. Just talking about filling voids, but one thing about it is just like understanding, like, voids may come, but it's about, what are you filling those voids with? Are you filling it with the right things? Like, you can be filling it with, like you said, pleasure, like, what I'm saying, stuff like that, things along those lines. But are you really filling it with the true peace, which is Jesus? You know what I'm saying? And so, I've been just a living proof of this. Is just like me. I fill voids like after I've gone through something. Say I went through a heartbreak and I had a void in me that only Jesus could fill. But what did I do? I went to go fill that void with, drinking, smoking, whatever the case may be, pleasure. You know what I'm saying? And then I felt worse than where I started. But then when I started to fill that void with the right stuff, with Jesus, with good community, people that want to see me go to the top, dude. Like the void was instantly just kept getting healed and healed and healed every single day. So it's not, I don't think it's much about avoiding the voids, but it's about what are you filling them with, So,
yeah, dropping bars already, bro.
Put on the Patreon. Put on the Patreon.
What are you?
That's $9.99.
Yeah. Hey, drop that picture on the link tree, bro. They can find that immediately.
It's gonna be like 10 links in there.
No, I like something that you said, like, filling that void like, with Jesus. After chasing and finding areas that like left you unfulfilled. You found something that was able to actually fill you up in the right area, in the right capacity. And much of my life, like I say, before I gave my life to Christ, I was always searching to fill these voids with things that constantly left me empty. And so for me, it was, if I had an X amount of money, that would be able to fill the void that was in my heart. Or if I had a certain amount of weed in my system, I could numb the pain that I felt like I was experiencing, or alcohol. Or even for me, it was like having like sex, like finding pleasure in women and trying to escape from whatever I was running to. And I looked at all these different areas as I was chasing them throughout all of my life, and they always left me empty. They always left me high and dry. And I found myself at like a breaking point, wondering like why am I so unhappy? Like, why am I feeling like this? I'm tired of feeling, like dry. Like I want to feel something. I want to feel happy. I want to feel joy. And like you said, they were like, the hope for me that filled it like was Jesus. And I think all of us have like scars or bruises or cuts of something. And we all try and like mask them with different things. Instead of using the love of the Band-Aid of love, which God can only provide, we started going for like duct tape, or we started to cover it up with like makeup, like foundation, when that cut is still there underneath all the surface. And so for me, I had to look at myself in the mirror and say like, bruh, we ain't gonna keep doing this. I've gotten this far all my life, and it's brought me nowhere. So I can't keep doing this. And so I was like, God, like, listen, I heard some things about you, bro. So I don't know if they're true, but I got to see, because nothing that I'm doing right now, nothing that I'm searching for is working out for me. And so right then and there, like I feel like God placed that love Band-Aid in that cut of my heart, in that cut in the areas that I was lacking, and that I was searching for these voids to fill or to heal, and they never healed. And I was reminded of this verse in John 4:14. It says like, for those who drink from me, like will never thirst. That's what Jesus was saying to that woman. And so much of my life before, I was constantly thirsting for more and more to try and heal these wounds that were always there from adolescent. And ultimately, God was the one who's healed those wounds, because he's the ultimate healer, the ultimate comforter, and the ultimate love giver. So all these things, like I was able to finally and truly discover that, man, like I can heal these wounds. And I don't have to look for other people to try and heal them. I don't have to try to look for money to try and heal or fix the things that I'm dealing with. So that's my experience of like looking and chasing and filling voids with the wrong things. And ultimately comes to the point where I had to realize that the only way that these cuts can be healed is if I go to the actual person, the actual doctor that can actually heal these things.
So, I mean, okay, first off, I mean, that's raw, that's uncut. I wasn't expecting some of that stuff, man. Unless we've spoken about. But to say out there in public, that's some serious stuff. But where to even start, man? I mean, I used to judge other people's voids, how they tried to handle them. You know what I'm saying? Because you go on social media, and all social media really, I mean, not all, 90% of it is just people trying to fill voids. Whether it's likes, whether it's dressing scantily to get the likes, whether it's showing, hey, I've got all the stuff and the money in the cars so they can get acceptance, you know what I'm saying? And so I used to judge how other people filled their voids. But the real issue was that I was filling mine too in toxic ways, just not in their ways. You know what I'm saying? So if they're they're doing this and I'm doing this, I'm judging them, but I'm still not feeling them in positive ways too. On my first thought, I mentioned on how I'm doing, on how I have bad things happen to me, but I don't have bad days because of a perspective that I have. A perspective that I've gotten to have with these voids is, here's an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So maybe I'm looking for acceptance. You know what I'm saying? Because I've had a situation I told you about with this in the past. Look, we're looking for acceptance. You know what I'm saying? So as I'm looking for this acceptance nowadays, because I would feel that acceptance back in the past with some toxic things. You know what I'm saying? But now that my eyes have been open, for lack of a different term, I'm able to see this as an opportunity. Okay, I'm feeling like I'm not being accepted. Boom, here's an opportunity. How am I going to fill this said opportunity? Yeah. So now I pause. I can look around, like think on the different options. Okay, well, I can do this and this. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? So nowadays, and you both spoke about where we're able to fill our voids with Christ's Band-Aid, because he's the real doctor. Yeah. That was deep, because I was filling them with not Band-Aids but duct tape, a pillow, you know what I'm saying, something to cover it up. But it was never the actual thing that would actually help that void be filled, be healed. You know what I'm saying? Because if I put a pillow on a scab, it might hide it for a bit or stop the bleeding, but is it really gonna get, you know what I'm saying, fixed or healthy? You know what I'm saying? No, it won't. Right. But once you put the right thing on there, it's gonna fill the void. Something else that I want to speak about, that will end up speaking about us over time, is, and he said that too, on how just because you cover up a void doesn't mean it's filled.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Talk.
It's just covered up, and eventually it's gonna become uncovered, and now you gotta have it filled still. So you're just delaying the problem. You're never actually fixing it. And the longer that you delay a problem, the worse the scab gets.
Exactly.
Man.
What a bar, bro.
Yeah.
What a bar, bro.
And that, bro, I love what both of y'all said, you know, like having Christ as the doctor too. And, you know, something that really stuck out to me, you know, if you guys making the analogies, is like, you talk about the makeup, you talk about the duct tape, you talk about the bandages, right? But the void is still under all of that, right? Yep. And guess what? The adhesive on the Band-Aid eventually has to come off. The adhesive on the duct tape eventually has to come off. The makeup comes off, you feel me? But I have Jesus, who's the doctor. He gives me the stitches. What do stitches do? Hold it together. Holds the wound together to heal it. You feel me?
On Patreon.
And so think about it too. And so it's just like, you know, when I see people go through stuff, when I take these stitches off, the scar is still gonna be there. But it's like people that go through the same things that I went through, I'm able to show them, hey, look at this scar, but look who healed it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I feel like is so huge, is like the duct tape will wear off. The void is still under there, like you were saying. But when I have the stitches, when Jesus puts the stitches where I need it, and I'm actually seeking for him to fill the void, seeking for him, he's gonna hold that together. Not only is he gonna hold it together, but he's gonna heal it. And then also I have the scars to show, hey, this is my testimony, this is how I can help you, you know? So that's great.
Boy, y'all is on a different one today.
Patreon.
For real.
Let's set up the Patreon, go home after this one.
No, seriously, but when I think of like voids, I'm reminded of a picture of like a hole of darkness. It's just an empty space of darkness. And how many of us have God-sized holes in our hearts that we're trying to fill with different things that only God can fill? If there's a key that opens up my heart, right, and I'm trying to have all these other keys trying to open that door to my heart, and they don't work, and I'm wondering why these things aren't working, what am I gonna do, right? I don't just keep using the wrong keys. No, I have to find the right key that unlock the door to that heart. In that same way, the same illustration with these voids, if the voids is the only thing that God can fill, the only person that can fill it is God, then we need to be looking towards God. And like I said, so much of my life in the past, I was trying to mask and I was trying to put the tent over the bandages, over the scars, all the pains and stuff, right? But I realized, like, man, like these are still there. And on top of that, they still hurt. They still sing it. But ultimately, like, God is the one who heals that. And he's the one that opens the door to my heart. He's the one that heals me, who comforts me, and who sets me back on a path. And so, like, for you today, if you're chasing areas, right, I want you to identify first, like, why you're chasing. Why are you chasing these areas? Why do you feel like you need to fill these voids with these things? Because in my personal opinion, I think it boils down to a love problem, an issue with love. Because for me, I was like, man, if I have a certain amount of money, then I can have the love that I was lacking from a child. Or if I had a certain amount of acceptance or notoriety, then people would see me and then I would perceive that as love. Or if I had a certain amount of intoxication, like right, drugs in my system, then that would numb the pain and I could finally see myself in a position where I would love myself, because ultimately I didn't love myself.
Yeah.
So how many of us have these God-sized holes in our hearts that only God can fill, but that we're looking for other keys to place inside the heart?
Jeez, hey, that's tough.
I think you hit on a huge point there, because I think that every human is made with a hole that is meant for God, and for Him, God to show us His love. You know what I'm saying? Every human has that hole. You know what I'm saying? So as you said, if that hole isn't filled, then we're gonna be looking at all these different things. You know what I'm saying? I used to judge so many people's choices. You know what I'm saying? Oh, why is she doing that? Why is he doing that? Until I started to understand they're just trying to fill this hole, this void. Yo, something huge you had said that I guys make point to it now is how we can show people who fills our void.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now that can be shared with other people. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just about trying to fill this void, but once it's filled, now we can show people, yo, look who filled it. You know what I'm saying? Because if I was sick, right, I was sick badly with something deep, right, and then I got healed, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna be, yo, Jair, bro. Guess what happened, bro? I had this thing, I was gonna die, all this. Guess what happened? Boom. I'm gonna share. I was healed. I think of a story up in the Bible where the first thing where Jesus heals someone, the first thing that he does is he gets up, he just goes and tells people. Because like a miracle, it's this big thing of, yo, guess what? And then inside of that, God's able to get the glory.
Yes.
Because if it's not going back to Him, what's it for? You know what I'm saying? So y'all hitting on some key points, man. Excited to hear some more.
Man, that's good. That's so good. And I love that you said it's just like you think about the void, like it's dark, right? Then you think about it in John 8:12 when Jesus says, I am the true light. Come on. And so it's just like, when this void, when it's dark, that's when you accept Christ, bro. And He is that light to fill that, to show you the way, man. Huge, bro. Huge.
Speaking of that word darkness, because I want to go back to that point with the voids, right?
Yeah.
We started off the pod of talking about like avoiding the voids, right? And that's because the voids lead us to darkness.
Yeah.
You talk about Christ being the true light. That's correct. That's accurate. And so if we know that Christ is the true light, we should be chasing the light instead of chasing darkness, which ultimately that's what we all do in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
If I'm going out seeking these voids, all I'm going to do is end up in a place of darkness. And I'm wondering why I can't see anything if I continue to go into this place where all it is nothing but darkness.
Yeah.
If I go out and seek light, well, then my room will start to light up. Well, then areas of my life will start to light up, right? But if I'm constantly going to pleasures to be the hole that fills my heart, right? Or if I'm going to money to be the hole that fills my heart, well, ultimately, guess what I'm gonna be? I'm gonna be back in that same place where I started, because it can never fulfill me. It can never fill up that hole that only God can fill, which is a true light in darkness, right? What is darkness? Darkness is the absence of light.
Exactly.
And so if darkness is the absence of light, why would I continue to chase darkness to make my world light up when I can go and chase light to help light up the entire room, which is my life?
Patreon.
Bro. Hey, it's tough, bro. And like something that you said was, with the voids is, you said it was a love issue also, but I also think that it's a pride issue as well. Because look, a lot of us, especially men, like we like to say,
raw and uncut.
We like to say, hey, I'm not struggling with that. You're going to put on this poker face like you're really good, but like, bro, you're not. And something that I learned is, it's okay to not be okay. Like a lot of people just, hey, I'm okay. Hey, I'm okay. I'm okay. Going through so many stuff, trying to duck the voids and act like they aren't there. The whole time they're eating up their life, though. They're eating up their life. And then on top of it, they're filling them with things and they act like they're not filling it with things. And I've been a victim to that too. Because I used to be like, yo, I'm not struggling with that. I'm not struggling with that. Whole time I'm trying to feel anything, hey, this is that. And then when it comes to that feeling it, it's the love issue. But when it comes to avoiding it, it's the pride issue.
Ooh.
Bro, something I learned this summer is that our vulnerability is what helps grow our relationships. You know what I'm saying? Our bond has only grown so much because our vulnerability. We share our problems. We share what we're going through. But if you're trying to be all, oh no, bro, I'm fine. How are you gonna grow any bonds? But it's in our vulnerability. All my best friends out, all my top four guys, all of us are good friends because of my vulnerability. I've been able to share with them, and then they share it back and all that. But if you're putting on a poker face, then you don't win. I think you win by sharing your vulnerabilities, getting those deeper bonds.
Exactly.
Something that I wanted to say off of yours is admitting it's a problem, because you can't fill a void if you don't admit it's a void. I can't put a Band-Aid on top of a scab if I say I don't got scab. Nah, I'm fine.
Right.
I'm good, bro. I got no scab. How can I ever fix it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if I say, yo, I have a scab, how can I fix this? Then I go about trying to find ways to fix it, and choosing positive ways is going to be game changing. You know what I'm saying? But I think that so many people wait years and years and years and don't ever admit it's a problem. I think of people who drink. You know what I'm saying? I was talking to someone who was an alcoholic. They said for like 17 years. I said, what took so long? And they were like, I never admitted it was a problem. That's what took 17 years. Imagine if they had admitted a year 4, I've got a problem. How can I fix it? Yeah. Then they probably wouldn't have lost their wife and kids. You know what I'm saying? But because they wanted to wait 17 years and never say, yo, this is a problem, I'm going to fix it. Now they lose everything. And the longer that you wait, the more that you lose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the sooner you cut it off, the more you can win.
Exactly.
Boy,
that's tough. And I think it's like you said, like vulnerability wins, and it's the thing about it. It's a pride issue because, you know, people don't want to be vulnerable because they don't want to be deemed as weak. They don't want to be seen. They don't want to be looked at as weak, you know, instead of being like, yo, bro. Like I tell y'all, yo, bro, I'm going through, like, bro, like he just said, I'm a 4.5.
Yeah,
like
that's real.
Some people won't say that because, you know, some people would just walk around, I'm a 10 out of 10. Well, everybody like to say, hey, bro, how you doing today? I'm good. Whole time you could be going through the wire.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people say, no, for real. So it's just like, dude, like be vulnerable in especially if you want your relationships to grow, not even just with your friends, but also, you know, your parents, everything around you. The vulnerability is key. Like it's okay to not be okay. Like people just don't want to be seen. They don't want to be looked at as weak. They don't want to be looked at as soft. And it's just a pride issue. You got to understand, like, we must decrease so God can increase. We have to show, like, our flesh is weak. We can only do so much, but Christ is there. He's strong in our weaknesses, you know? But it's about us admitting that we're weak. Feel me?
Ooh, oh man. So you mentioned pride and you mentioned vulnerability. And when you guys mentioned those words, the first thing that came to mind was like a picture of an athlete, right? And how many times do athletes get injuries, right? But they try and mask the pain, right? So I think of like a sprained ankle, right? You get a sprained ankle, what's the first thing you do? You go and tie the shoe up, you tie the cleat up so that you can still keep playing.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, I feel like in life, we get these sprained ankles and we try to continue to walk on them. But in doing so, instead of going to get a diagnostic or get a diagnosis, we continue to walk in them. And so now we're walking with a noticeable limp, not trying to be healed. And so going to fill these voids, instead of going to the doctors, we're going right back into the area that wounded us. And it's like, why am I doing that? So if I'm continuing to chase the money, like the pleasure, like the attention, all these things that have wounded me, like why would I go there expecting to be healed, right? And that's like a pride thing. But it takes people being vulnerable. It takes people going to admit, like, yo, dude, like I sprained my ankle and I'm hurt and I need you guys. Like I need my community around me to help lift me up. I need to acknowledge that I'm hurt to people so that I can grow, right? Because I will never grow if I continue to mask it under I'm good. I will never grow. I will never heal if I never take my injury to get a diagnosis, to get diagnosis. So for us, I think it's pivotal, right, to remove that pride, right, and be vulnerable so that we aren't continuing to walk on a limp. Because, you know, eventually, the more that you walk on a limp, the more that you get adjusted to it. And now it becomes normal. And you keep walking on this like, man, I forgot I even have a limp anymore. And now this just becomes your normal custom lifestyle that you're used to every single day. Then you forgot that you were even injured in the first place. Sometimes we're dealing with injuries that have been injured since like 5 years old because we've never acknowledged it. We've never been vulnerable, and we've always had that pride continue to cover it up every single day. And then we wonder why at age 25, 30, 35, we got to go and get a replacement because we've been walking on a limb for 20 plus years, 25 plus years, so on and so forth. So I think it's important for us to remove that pride, to strip that pride, be humble and acknowledge, hey man, I need help, bro. Hey man, I'm hurt, I'm injured.
Bro, not only are you walking on a noticeable and obvious limp, you're also saying I'm good at the same time. Where as far as, people that say, hey, bro, like, I got a sprained ankle, like I got to sit down. But like, also think about it too. It's like when some people have a sprained ankle, they get the crutches. And what do you do with the crutches? You lean on the crutches, they help you walk. So I'm looking at my friends when I'm down and I'm hurt, I'm leaning on my crutches, my friends, and most importantly, Christ. You feel me?
Keeping you
That
up.
is keeping me up. That's holding me up, and that continues
Christ
to
is
allow
my
me to walk.
crutch.
Exactly, which continues to allow me and to walk and to function. But it's first admitting, hey, I can't walk, dude. I can't walk. I got this limp. I'm not gonna live in the comfortability of me not being vulnerable. I need to continue to be like, hey, yo, look, I'm weak right now, and I just need somebody to lean on. You feel me? But it's about saying, hey, Mike, like I need help. Hey, Jira, I need help. Like, this is what I'm going through. So that, like, vulnerability is huge, dude. Like, put that pride aside, bro.
Or look at like the picture of Moses, right? Remember they were in that battle, and every time that he dropped his arms, they would start to lose the battle. But when his supporters, when Aaron and Joshua came up and held his arms together, that's when they started to win the battle. When we start to lean and rely on our crutches, then we can actually win against this lifestyle of these voids, right? When I lean on the crutches to help me heal from the injury, instead of placing all my weight back on the same thing that injured me, then there's progress that can be made. But if I'm continuously like, no, I got it, bro. I can continue to hold up this staff and we're going to continue to win. Well, guess what? You're just fooling yourself, right? You're a fool because you think you're winning, but all the time you're losing. And you're not just losing your mind, but you're losing your body, you're losing your heart, all these things that encapsulate together with pride.
Bro, I'm gonna say it every episode too. You're not just hurting you, you're hurting those around you.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? If we don't use crutches, they will never fulfill their purpose. So if you two are my two best friends, but I never lean on you, you're never fulfilling your purpose. You know what I'm saying? Great analogy on Moses and the hands being held. Because again, bro couldn't do it on his own. And eventually you will break down. That's just how it is. But as your friends come and help you up, help you hold up, then you start to win. You know what I'm saying? But if you never let them hit their purpose, you're hurting everybody. You know what I'm saying? And what we try to do, uplift everybody.
Yeah.
And I love what you said. I love the illustration with Moses.
Great
I think
illustration.
about the illustration in the Gospels is when his friends saw the lame man. He saw his friends. He was down and out.
Come on,
he was
bro.
down and out. And they said, hey,
bro.
they seen Jesus. They said, hey, you hurt? I can see you. This who you need to heal to fill them boys. What they do? They got this man on the platform, grabbed ropes, lowered him through the roof. Mind you, it's crowds of people around him, so you can't go through the main entrance. These dudes found an elaborate way. They went on the roof, the hole in the roof, to go lower him down to Jesus. So that's where I look like them. I'm like, yo, these my guys. I know they're gonna lower me through that roof if I'm going down for it. But it all starts with me saying, hey, I'm lame right now. I'm down and out right now. I need y'all help. But at the same time, your friend's faith is huge. Your friend's faith is as important as it is to yours, you know?
Yo, something I want to say of that is the friends saw he had a problem too.
Yeah.
He knew he had a problem, but his friends saw it too, and they saw, yo, he can't fix it on his own. Let me step up. You know what I'm saying? So the friends stepped up and helped him fix his problem. So who are you hanging around?
We're going to see it every episode.
Who are you hanging around? So I'm hanging around some dudes where if they saw me slipping away, they about to come, yo, Slayer, you slipping away.
Yeah. ...
Who are you hanging with, bro? Are you hanging with people who are gonna try and help you get healthy? Or are you hanging around friends who say, that's too bad, bro?
Are you hanging with people that's gonna lower you through the roof? Right?
They saw the man was unable to walk, and they helped him get to the place that he could get healed.
So he could walk.
We need people that are going to help us get us to the places that we can't go, because we try to walk on injuries that we will never be able to walk on because we're so blind to our pride. We're so blind to the voice that we're constantly seeking out. But it takes my two guys helping me like, yo, Jira, nah, bro. Like, we got this, bro. Nah, you putting too much pressure on that. You're going right back to that void, and it's going to lead you right back. Now you're going to injure the other ankle. Nah, we got you, bro. And now it takes the comfort, the support, the accountability, the confession between a group of believers together that are going to help me get to the back right on my feet, right? I don't think that the healing came when it was like Jesus interacting with him. I think the healing came when the brothers lifted up his brother and breathed them to Jesus. It wasn't the miracle that he touched him and said, you can jump and walk, pick up your mat. No, it was the brothers or the friends realizing that there was a brother in need of help and them picking up the mat and lowering him in. That's where the healing happened.
But this, bro, that's, oh my gosh, you just spit. But at the same time, too, though,
$9.99.
look at it. They was like, they seen what Jesus could do. They seen that he was healing so many people. And so look, that's the same time. When we got our scars, we go and we telling other people, hey, this is how you get these scars healed. But they like, where we got to take you? Where we got to take you? Do it got to be through the main entrance? Oh, too many people? Lower it through the roof. Like,
But whatever it
takes. Exactly. Any means possible. They were like, we're going to step on top of the crowd. We're going to go through the roof with this hole. We're going to do anything we can to help my boy out. You feel me? Like, that's the type of friends we got to have around us. And that's the type of friends that we have to be for others as well. But it starts with the vulnerability at the end of the day. And it starts with, you know, the love issue, admitting that, hey, I have a love issue. I have a pride issue. But it starts with you recognizing, hey, I got these voids that need to be filled or that need to be healed, but they need to be filled with the right things, the right substance. And I was reading Jeremiah last night, and it talks about Jesus being the everlasting covenant. So it's just like, when you fill these voids with Jesus, that's everlasting. That's going to be from here to eternity, bro. So that's just like, dude, why would I put or fill the void with things that are temporal and the things which are seen instead of filling the voids with, you know, things that are unseen, which is eternal, you know?
That's a Corinthians break.
I was gonna say, I know he going with
That's Second Corinthians.
I know he had.
No, I got to, man.
Oh, bro, that is tough.
Yeah,
It's that
too
picture of having people, like you talked about, like people helping us.
Yeah.
And I think we need to have our experience. We need to be vulnerable so that other people aren't falling into the voids that we fell into.
Yup.
Like, if I am confessing, I'm not vulnerable with people like, dude, I fell right here because I did this. I confess to these people around me. Now, the benefit of that is that that person does not have to fall into that void. That person does not have to seek out that void because he knows that room is already dark. He can go to a place that I can tell him, like, yo, this place over here, it has light in it. And I can tell because I've been through it with experience. So I think it's important for us to strip the pride, right? To confess to our brothers, to our inner circle, so that we aren't in places where we're walking in that are dark already. If we confess and be vulnerable to our friends, our friends' experiences can help us guide us to that light. Because how many times do we get off track and we start veering off from that path of the light to going off into darkness? And then it's the people that come to me in my circle that align you right back on track to that light.
Each one teach one.
Facts. Who you hanging
Who you hanging around?
Man, in a nutshell, man, you gotta avoid the voids, man.
Voids.
And man, y'all got some
And fill
gems,
them the
bro.
right way.
You as
know what I'm
well,
saying?
bro. That was just,
All glory to God, bro.
no, man.
We
Holy
got
Spirit moving.
that God-sized hole that only God
Be
can
on
fill.
Patreon for $9.99.
Boy,
Shared Conversations Patreon. Link in the link tree.
That's going to be the 10th link in the link.
bro, we gonna keep adding them, bro.
For sure.
Y'all getting some gems,
Nah,
bro.
facts.
Ooh, we serving the whole cookbook, bro. But all right, man, we see y'all out here.
Hey, peace.
Deuce.